Hello, everybody. We're just kicking off our first webinar of the evening for our Maynooth University CAO information evening. So my name is Deirdre Ní Chearúil and I work here at the Admissions and Student Recruitment Office in Maynooth University. And today I'm joined by our lovely students and we are going to chat through, I guess, the student kind of experience here. I also want to say that my colleague Emma Stevens is working kindly behind the scenes. So if anyone has any questions, you can put them into the Q&A and we can answer them there for you. So also, I'd ask if you've any questions for the panel, for our lovely students here with us this evening. If you put them in there, I can ask them as well. So what we might do is we might just go around the houses and everybody introduce themselves and what course they are in. So I'll point on whoever I can see coming up for me first. So Tegan, you're up first.
Hi, my name's Tegan. I'm studying business marketing through MH404 here in Maynooth.
And where are you from, Tegan? What school did you go
I'm
to?
I'm from Wicklow. I came from Avenel Community College. I know there would be a few from that school on this webinar at the moment, as is a popular choice.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And Amy, you're up next. And just as well, what school you were in as well.
Hi everyone. So my name's Amy. I am a second year LLB student, which is law. It's 5H MH502, and I came in through Dunboyne College Further Education. I was a QQI applicant.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Amy. Zach, you're up next to my screen.
Hello, everyone. My name's Zachary. I'm a second year student at Maynooth. I'm in MH404 Business and Marketing. I came straight through from leaving cert, and I live in Arklow in County Wicklow. I came from Glenart College.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Daniel, you're next up for me.
Hi everyone, Daniel here. Fourth year MH208 Biological and Biomedical Science. I come from Clare, Ennis Community College, and I came in through just a standard leaving cert CAO route.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And Claudia, you're up next.
Hi everyone, I'm Claudia and I'm doing international business. I'm H44 and I'm from Spain and I applied through the CAO as well.
Lovely. Thank you so much. And I guess something that's quite interesting is, and we're very grateful for, is that our students are currently doing their exams. So we have a few students joining in from the library. So who's coming in from the library? Zach, you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
And Tegan is too.
Yeah.
So I guess it shows how lucky we are with our facilities that our students are able to come in from the library to us. So I guess one of the first questions as everyone is filling out their CEO applications is, why did you choose Maynooth? So I'm going to go around and ask everybody why you chose your course and why you chose Maynooth. And I guess if you want to even tell me what you enjoy most about your course too, that will help as well to kind of in your decision-making process. So Zach, you're coming up for me first. So do you want to go through it with us?
So back in 2023, I came to Maynooth for the open day in the winter open day, and it was just like a feeling I got when I got here. I was like, this is where I want to be. I'd been to some of the other ones already in the previous years, but I never felt as home as I did here. Also just a tour of the campus and seeing the great facilities and stuff was that was awesome as well. And what's I gonna say? Yeah, it was just a feeling. It was like I knew I was supposed to be here. It was just, and all the people as well. Everyone was so welcoming and great.
I love that. I love the way that people say that often about Maynooth as well. It's a common thing. Like you just know when you arrive on campus, it
Yeah.
has that vibe, feel, the students there. And it's so important for students that are at that kind of decision-making process stage to go to an open day as well. I know our next open day is on April 12th and the sign-up link will be there next, but we'll have another one in June too. So it's so important to get out and get that feeling like Zach kind of got when he came to Maynooth for the first time. And I guess, Zach, what do you enjoy most about your course now that you're here?
Well, my course is it's business and marketing. So the way I best describe it to namely my parents who don't know what I'm studying is it's business with a side of marketing. It's like currently I'm sitting exams for project management and operations and supply chain and brand management and many others. It's not just honed in on marketing. You get like a general experience in all areas, and then you focus slightly more on the marketing side of things.
And is there a placement option in that degree too, Zach?
There is, yeah. So the degree I'm in currently, it's a 3-year degree, but I plan on extending it by a year next year to do a placement. So currently I'm also in the process of coordinating with the office and trying to pretty much just getting a job. You're working somewhere for a year and proving your worth, the same as any other job, but it's part of the
Amazing.
degree.
It's great, and it's great that the office is there to help you with that as well. And there is a
Yeah.
placement office also, Maynooth, which is brilliant. Amy, I guess I'll go to you next. So why did you choose Maynooth, and what do you enjoy most about your course?
So I chose Maynooth for a couple of reasons. One of them was the QQI rate. So I'll kind of talk a bit more later about how I came in as a student from a further education course. But for me, there was a lot of support with Maynooth and Dunboyne, and they work really closely together. So a lot of my teachers and my lecturers and stuff at the time would have brought us over to Maynooth for the open days and like that, and the campus tours. And I went on campus tours myself. And sometimes it takes even just talking to a student like us to kind of really know what you want and really relate to them, because it can be very daunting if you just go to an open day and you're surrounded by lecturers. But if you're talking to a student, I found it was a lot more helpful. Another thing that applied for me was just the distance, because I only live in Meath, and for me I still want to be close to home but also have a really good education, and that ties into even the ratings I saw of the law school, and that's what drew me to it. And even if you go on LinkedIn, it's nothing but amazing reviews, and that kind of will draw a student alone, never mind anything else. Things I like about the course then, my favorite thing is the practical versus the theory. So especially with a heavy subject like law, it can be very daunting walking in, because your first lecture, all you see is massive amount of cases, and you kind of just cry a little bit, but you don't, because when you get used to it, like a module I had example for tort law, which is negligence law, you get so scared of all the cases, but they have a practical element to the course. So you have to go in like a bit like Sukes, and you do your mock course, and it applies all that theory. So suddenly you realize it's actually not that daunting, and you realize there's a practical element to the course as well as theory. And that applies for nearly all my modules too.
Yeah, the law school is amazing, and I know that the department has won a lot of awards, prestigious awards in the legal kind of field as well, and students
Yeah.
are often very passionate about law, the way that you are as well, Amy. And I think it's amazing that you came in the QQI route, and if anybody is considering that as an option, like Amy was, there's another webinar on later that Amy will be a part of, and that discusses the QQI PLC route, but also the mature student route. So that's definitely one to have a look at too. I guess who is next? Daniel, do you want to come on in and tell us why you chose Maynooth? I guess you've come from Clare, so you're probably the furthest distance, and what you enjoy most about the course.
Yeah, so Maynooth actually wasn't my first choice. It was medicine, and I actually had no clue about Maynooth. I'd never been here. I'd never been to any open days. And I joined in 2020, which was COVID times. So my whole first year was online, and I didn't really come to the campus to see anyone. But from my second year, I made my way onto campus. And I think the first day I was on campus was really the best time to come onto campus, because it was like September, October, nice scenery, the trees are nice and red and everything. So it was really calm and really like serene, and it was really like a nice, invitation and introduction to the campus. And I like my course because I'm doing biomedical science. And as for someone who didn't really know what they wanted to do, it really exposes you to a lot of different aspects of biology, like microbiology, immunology, ecology. So like you really get exposed to a lot of things. And then in your fourth year, you can really like hone into what you really like. So that's what I loved about it. And the lecturers are super nice and super approachable. So you don't really feel like, it's this daunting kind of thing, in college and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the biological and biomedical degree, it's a very sought after degree in Maynooth. And I guess when you even speak about immunology, like we've some amazing immunologists like Paul Moyna in Maynooth University. So it's a great degree to be a part of. And also, Daniel, you've come from, it's so interesting to hear your story that you missed out even say from your first year, and well, not with out, but did it from home in Clare, because I've seen you on campus and you have a large group of circle of friends. So you obviously settled in very well and
Yeah,
made a kind of a squad and a crew, which is, I guess it just shows the way Maynooth is and the type of atmosphere that you're going to get yourself into as a student in Maynooth, which is brilliant. Thank you so much, Daniel.
of course. Yeah.
Claudia, what about you?
Hi. I chose Maynooth because, well, I'm from Spain, so I knew I wanted to go abroad for college. And I visited Maynooth and I loved the campus. So instantly I knew I wanted to come back here. And then as well, the business degrees are really good and they're very broad as well. As Zachary was saying, we get to study a bit of everything, and then once the years go by, you focus more on what you're actually interested in. So I'm doing international business and I really like it. The lectures are very good, the facilities are very good, and it's just a really nice place to be studying in.
Amazing. I love that your story as well, Claudia, and coming from Spain. And it's so interesting because we have a good chunk of our students here on the MH404 business degree. But Claudia, you and Tegan and Zach, you all have different stories about your kind of entry routes to Maynooth University and why you chose Maynooth, and you all love your courses as well, which is lovely. And something that's really interesting about the business degree and also about the law degree and some other kind of specialized degree is that there's transfer routes from the arts degree into these degrees. And there'll be another webinar on later on, and it's a transfer route to, or it just discusses the arts program, and I'd highly recommend going. It's with a colleague of ours, Kay Mitchell, and it's going to be an amazing webinar. But Dara will be on the webinar, who's a student, and Dara transferred from the arts degree into the law degree. So he's a brilliant kind of success story there as well. So thank you so much, Claudia. And then Tegan, we'll go to you next.
I guess I chose Maynooth as I had like teachers in my school. Actually, one of the guidance counselors, he actually did business management in Maynooth, so he said it was a great course. So
Wow.
I kind of went in fifth year thinking I would do business management, but in the sixth year I decided I'd do marketing as I love that side of the business course. And I did home ec, which had a lot of consumer psychology, which I loved. And
Interesting.
just to let students know, I was applying to the course, so I thought I could apply to both marketing and management, but then you realize they're integrated into a course itself, and you don't have to choose what you want to do until September when you're registering. So if you want to do business but you don't know what you want to do, it's kind of a great and broad course you can choose.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason why I guess I chose the new course is because I also went to the open day and I felt like a belonging on the campus. I was talking to some of the lecturers from the School of Business. They're all very nice. They're all really helpful. The staff, the lecturers are great. And also the points for this course are quite accessible. They're lower than other marketing courses in other universities.
And I think something that's important
Yeah.
with points is, students are often really like worried about points. And,
Yeah.
when it gets closer to the round one offers, people think, are the points going to go up and points going to go down? And the thing is that that's so important is when you fill out your CAO application, it should be, I would say it should be like a Santa wish list. You should do 1 to 10 of what you want to do most. And that's where, like, don't be thinking about points at this stage. They're obviously very important, but you should fill out your application form in a way of where you want to be the most. And as Tegan just mentioned there, she got that feeling of belonging in Maynooth, and that's so important. And the degrees, there's amazing lecturers on that degree, and there's amazing alum. I know, a amazing success story from one of the business degrees from the entrepreneurship stories is Anya Kennedy is a past student of the course who is the founder of the Smooth Stick. So it just shows how amazing that degree program is. And Tegan, we were actually just speaking beforehand about the Dare entry route, which is one that you
Yes.
came in, which is amazing too. And are you enjoying kind of the access office, all the supports you're getting to there as well, Tegan?
I am. You do get quite a few sports. Like personally myself, I get extended library loans, so I can get my books for a few more days or weeks. I get my own center for exams.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing which you don't get for the Leaving Cert, but you do get in college if you are eligible, is you get extra time for your exams.
Amazing,
So it's
amazing.
10 minutes per hour, which is really great.
And have you found that those supports have really helped you then, Tegan, in your journey here?
I have found they have been really helpful.
Oh, amazing. That's great to
Yeah,
hear, isn't
members.
it? It really is.
Mhm.
So I guess I want to know about your living on campus or living off campus kind of experience. So I'm going to kind of go around. So Amy, how has your experience been? Have you been commuting? Have you been living on campus, living in Maynooth?
So I kind of do a hybrid version.
Oh, we
I
love.
mix between both.
Yeah.
So I commute half the week and I stay up half the week. I'm lucky that I have a family member that lives around Maynooth, so I have a
Hmm.
very easy transport solution. Both are brilliant. Honestly, I've never had a problem with either. So because I live in Meath and the buses don't really like Meath, we have a private bus service that brings us from Maynooth to campus, and it's brilliant. I've never missed a lecture, always on time. It's not expensive. It takes leap card. Like I've never had an issue with it. It gives me more time to study because I feel if I didn't have a bus, I probably wouldn't roll out of bed until
Yeah, yeah,
before
yeah.
my lecture. But it gives me a lot more time to kind of sit and study and do whatever I need to do on the way in. Same with commuting, or same with living up there. I've never had a problem there either. Like Maynooth is one of those towns that you could walk from one end to the other and it's in a blink. You don't actually realize you've walked at
Yeah. And
all.
it's a good walk. Like it's an enjoyable walk,
It's a
isn't
very,
it?
yeah, yeah, it's a very calming walk.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Exactly. Like if you're coming in from either route, I'm someone who's done both, and there's never been a problem. If anything, it's been probably the easiest I've ever had.
Yeah, that's something that is brilliant about Maynooth is that there are so many commutable routes and we've built up a good link with a lot of different private bus providers to give those options to students. So if anybody wants to look them up, it's mu.e/transport or getting here, mu.e/getting here, and that'll give you a list of all the commutable routes and areas to come from. Thank you so much, Amy. Tegan, what about you?
So something which I know a lot of people watching will find interest is I lived on campus last year.
Mm-hmm.
So something about the on-campus accommodation is since the campus is small, it's like a 5 minute walk to your lectures, to your classes. If
Mm-hmm.
you can really get up like 10 minutes before the lecture, throw some clothes on, and you're there and you're 9 a.m. on time.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I want to mention about the accommodation is a big percentage of it goes to first years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Goes
Mm-hmm.
to first years more. And when you're first year, you can either get a ensuite or a shared bathroom. I personally lived in the ensuites.
Lovely. And you enjoyed it,
That's
Tegan, did
amazing.
you?
Yes, I did. It's very convenient, and I'm not living on campus this year. So, and it's something which you don't really appreciate until you don't have it anymore.
And something as well is that Tegan is a business student, so the business lectures, they're probably mainly in the TSI building, are they, Tegan?
They're kind of like all spread out.
Yeah.
They're all spread out. They're all in the bigger lecture theaters, as the lectures can have 600 people in them at a time.
Yeah, but you'd have tutorials as well with smaller class sizes as
Yeah,
well, wouldn't you? Yeah. And I
yeah.
guess just disclaimer for anybody that's over the other side of campus, it might take you a little bit longer to get there in the mornings than it took Tegan, but amazing. Thank you so much because the campus it's small, but it's big. It's like medium size, isn't it? What would you guys say? Would you say, yeah, kind of medium sized campus? Yeah, thank you so much. Zach, what about you?
Yeah, so I am a commuter. I come up and forth to college every day to get here. Thankfully there's a few options. Well, there's an option for me to get here from, because like I said, I live in Arklow.
Hmm.
It's, unless you're going to Dublin, it's not the best place to commute from.
Hmm.
All the transport is very Dublin centered. So if I was to take a train, I have to go to Dublin to Connolly and then walk to Houston, I think, and then
Hmm.
take the Houston out. So from there, it can be a bit of a pain, but thankfully, the Maynooth has a bus route with my local bus provider
Amazing.
service to straight to campus. So I get here on time and ready for my lectures. I used it a lot last year, my first year, but this year I have decided to just start driving a lot more.
Hmm.
As myself and I have a friend, and we split the commuting costs and stuff like that. So it takes the burden off a lot.
So you would park on campus, would you, Zach?
Yeah, so the campuses. There's a lot of parking all around the campus. Only a year or two ago, I think there's a new massive car park out the far side of campus.
Hmm.
It's pretty big. I think they're planning on putting electric chargers and stuff there soon as
Cool.
well. But myself and my friend, it's because we carpool, there's a special parking permit you can get for that. So
Brilliant.
there's special spaces that are usually always empty because during exam season and stuff, the place it can be a bit of a challenge sometimes to get a space. But these empty spaces for car sharing students are really helpful.
And do you pay for a permit then for the year?
Yeah, so the permit, I think it's 40 euro a person, or a 40 euro for two cars on the one permit.
That's pretty reasonable then for the
Hmm.
year, is it? So 20
Yeah,
euro a
yeah,
semester?
exactly. Like instead
Amazing.
of doing pay and display or something every day, it's a
Yeah.
lot more reasonable.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. That could so interesting. And congratulations. Did you get your license? That's a big
I did, yeah. I
congratulations.
got my license actually nearly to the day last year. And
Ah,
then yeah, so it's pretty cool. I see all the memories coming off of my phone. But
nice.
yeah, it's been really good to just drive. It's my classes can be sometimes I get early days in college, and with the bus service I'd have to wait until the bus is leaving, obviously. But if I drive, sure, I can come and go as I please, you know.
Lovely, lovely. Or you could go around the town either and
Yeah,
go
exactly.
up to
There's
Tesco
yeah,
or
there's loads to keep you entertained if you are waiting anyway. So
yeah, very true. Thank you so much. Daniel, what about you? I don't think you're going to be commuting from Ennis. Tell us about
No,
it.
for me, it's been a bit of a journey. First year, I was all online.
Oh yeah.
Second year, I lived in Clane in Diggs, which is about 20 minutes from Maynooth by bus.
And
That
could
was a
you
little
just
rough.
explain what digs are as well?
Diggs is you live with a family, or your own apartment or your own house, and you pay monthly or weekly or bi-weekly or however they set it up. Um, and
So
it
it
can
can
be in different
be,
places around Maynooth, like Selbridge, Clane, Kilcock,
which would all be kind of
whatever.
surrounding areas, and something I
Yeah,
guess with
yeah,
digs is it can be a good option for students who maybe aren't ready, for their first year as well, and would prefer to live with a family or,
yeah.
somebody else for their first year as well. That option is amazing for them. And where did you go on from there then, Daniel?
That was in second year, and then third year, I finally got accommodation on campus in
Mm-hmm.
the courtyard apartments, which is really cool. So I think, in my opinion, is one of the best ones. And like Tegan said, it's 5 minutes from your apartment, and the courtyard apartments are very close to the sport facilities and to the labs, which is really good for me because I can just wake up and in 2 minutes I'm right there for any labs or meetings or lectures I had. So yeah, and also for clubs, because when you're commuting, a lot of the clubs times start at like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. So when you're commuting, it can be a little hard because you have to get home and prepare for the next day. But when you're on campus, you can just go right along to badminton or volleyball or soccer or whatever it is, and then you can just come back home and get some
Mm-hmm.
pizza and relax or something. So it's really
And,
cool.
and and you know what's so interesting, and we'll get on to clubs and societies next, but it is true, like clubs and societies are apart from the major clubs are student run activities and they're student led. And I guess is there a commuting society? Does anyone know? No, you don't know. But I know that students can also create their own societies. So Tegan, you set up a society this year, didn't you?
I did. I set up Pop Culture Society with my friends.
Girl, so we might get into that after I chat to Claudia about her accommodation, but it just, that students can organize activities as well during the day too. So there are those options for commuters too. So we might chat a bit about setting up a society on that in a bit as well. Claudia, again, I doubt you're commuting all the way over from Spain every day.
Hi. Yeah, no, I don't commute. In first year, I was living on campus, which was really good because obviously you get to make new friends. You're experiencing what's like to live by yourself. So you do learn a lot of things, and obviously it's really handy because you're right beside all your lecture halls and stuff.
hmm
And I didn't get accommodation for this year on campus, so I'm living off campus, but I'm living in Maynooth.
Lovely,
Yeah.
lovely. And there's also an option. So there's obviously on-campus accommodation, and if you go onto the accommodation website, you can actually do a virtual tour of the apartment. So Daniel was talking about courtyard apartments. They're the kind of newer apartments, isn't it, Daniel? They're the latest apartments, and you can get a virtual tour to see how cool courtyard apartments are, or any of the other kind of apartment setups. So thank you so much for that. So we might go on to clubs and societies. So who's involved? Is everybody involved in clubs and societies? No, not Zach, but everybody else. Okay, cool. So we might kick it off with Amy. Which clubs or socks are you involved in?
So I am involved in, oh my God, a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm on Law Society. I am their negotiation officer. So I help run legal events and legal competitions. It's a really fun role. It kind of is what got me into the practical side of law. Me and my friends actually set up Women in Law this year because, like you were talking about, we kind of realized that, wait, we can do this as well.
Mhm.
And for us anyway, we were looking at other colleges and they had women in law societies, and we were like, why can't we do it? So, like you were talking about, Maynooth has a very, oh my God, extremely open aspect to students and whatever their interests are. So for us, it was a very easy process with amazing amount of support from the clubs and societies building. And it was, you'd think it'd be a difficult way to go, and Tegan probably agree with me. It's not. Like, it's such an enlightening experience, and you're going to use all these skills that you're going to use setting up clubs and societies or being in clubs and societies for the rest of your career, essentially. So there was a no-brainer there. I am on another one. I help with Black. I help with a lot of the legal ones. I'm on the Same Things in Nepal Society. You can literally join as many as you want. And my best advice is do, because you will never find as many friends as you will with such similar interests until you put yourself out there and join these kind of groups.
And Amy, can I ask you, for anybody, how would you like, what is a society?
So a society is essentially, if my definition is correct, a group of people with the same interests as you. So take Women in Law, for example. We encourage anyone, whether you're a woman or not, if you have an interest in law and you want to get involved, it's basically putting a practical element to a subject, or even not a subject. If you have a like Lego society, which I know Tegan's as well, we're all in big societies, but even if you have an interest in Lego, they provide like evenings of just making Lego and calming down and de-stressing. Same with us, we have coffee mornings, so you can come in and meet firms or get involved with different kind of legal aspects, CV workshops. It's giving you an extra bit to add on to your degree. So when you leave Maynooth, you're not just leaving with a degree, you're leaving with essentially an entire package for a career, because you have all these extra skills, whether that be de-stressing or CV workshops. You have different ways of coping with your degree. So it kind of opens up a lot of doors.
And something that's brilliant as well is that the Muse was introduced as well. So
Yeah.
the Maynooth University Student Engagement Awards,
Yes.
and there's different tiers, isn't there? Like silver and gold, and you are rewarded for your your engagement in extracurricular activities, and you can then put that on your CV and it is
Exactly.
recognition on it. So yeah, thank you so much, Amy, for that. Tegan, I know you're quite involved in, and I guess we brought that up. What societies are you involved in?
I'm in an academic, performance, and an interest and hobby. So for the academic, I'm the business society. I'm actually on the committee as an events officer, which
Mm-hmm.
means I would co-organize events with other members.
Mm-hmm.
And we have had some successful events like LinkedIn workshops,
Mm-hmm.
CV workshops, and we even organized a ball for students, which is really fun.
Cool.
I'm also, so for interest and hobby, my friends and I, we decided we'd set up a pop culture society, as we
Mm-hmm.
found it was a gap in Maynooth. There is societies for more individual pop culture aspects, but they're more niche. So we wanted to do something like something more umbrella, so we can have a welcoming environment for everyone.
I love that. There's a Taylor Swift society, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah, yeah. Nice, nice, nice. And
Yeah.
what other ones are you involved in, Tegan?
And for performance, I'm involved with drama, which is great
Cool.
fun, very welcoming environment, and I've actually made most of my friends in college in there.
Oh, I love that. And
Yes.
another really popular society is the musical society, isn't it? That's very popular too, isn't it? You don't know, you don't know. That's okay. And any other ones
I
you're
know.
involved in?
That's all for this year.
That's a lot though. That is a lot. Thank you so much. Daniel, you're involved in clubs, are you?
Yeah, I'm involved in societies as well. I'm involved in the Purpose Society,
Oh,
which
cool.
is um we just basically have a time where we have like conversations like DMCs about like life or, you know, love, marriage, religion, all this kind of things. We'll have like
Cool.
coffee mornings and all those kind of things. I'm also involved in Women in STEM. Like Amy said, you know, it's not just for women. You know, if you're a guy and you want to support these societies, you can do that as well. And also for the clubs I'm not a part of, there's Indian Society, Dance Society, and these clubs, I mean, these societies put on events as well that non-society members can also attend. Like the Indian Society put on Diwali every year, and it's such a huge, fantastic event that you can go to. Also, the Dance Society put on, you know, dance competitions as well that you can enter in, and you can go watch and support your friends as well. So they all have really cool events and things, and they also have the balls as well. And the Tegan talked about, like, where you can just dress up and go out with your friends and, you know, take pictures for Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So they're really cool as well.
That's a really good mix, Daniel. It sounds like you're very busy.
Yeah.
And your
Yeah.
course is a busy one too.
Yeah.
Claudia, what about you? What societies are you involved in?
I'm the year rep for the Spanish Society.
Amazing.
So yeah, it's really fun. It's a small society. Well, like we have obviously a lot of people, but like it's not, you don't feel scared to go in. It's very chill. We have our coffee mornings and it's really, really fun. And obviously I can share my culture and stuff, so it's really good. And then I'm also in the business society and I'm the treasurer for the society. So my role is to manage the funds of the society and track expenditure and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really good.
An important role. Yeah. I just want to say as well for everybody, we're over halfway out of time, and I have another question or two for all of our panelists, but we also want to take your questions. So now is your opportunity to put in the questions into the Q&A to make sure I can get them answered, because we're going to have to finish up about 10 to. So if anyone has any questions, please put them into the Q&A and I'll get around to asking the students afterwards. A big question that's commonly asked is about timetables. So I'm going to ask if you guys what your timetables are like. So, Zach, what's your timetable like in business?
Yeah, so my timetable it's dependent on when the classes are running, obviously. So this year I got a pretty good timetable this year, and I have an early finish on Fridays, and I'm not in at all on a Monday, which like I said, really helps with my commuting and stuff, you know. Yeah, so like some classes you can there's no real, usually they're spaced out well enough, so there's loads of time in between things should you need to catch up on something or just go and see your friends or go do society events and things like that. But it depends on when they fall. They can be subject to change up until the week of, I'm pretty sure it's the week of the start of the term. So even now I'm constantly checking my timetable to see if it's been revised or anything, if there's anything I need to know. But yeah, it just depends a lot on the timetabling office, how they schedule the modules.
What would you say is the biggest difference from your secondary school timetable to your university timetable?
I would say it's probably the fact that it's a lot quieter, to be honest. There's certain days that I'm up here that I would have a certain like set of subjects, for example, only only marketing related ones, or only supply chain, or one or two of my optional subjects. But I think it's great because instead of being so spread out, like in secondary school, I would you'd spend like an hour doing your maths in the morning, and then straight after an hour in business class, and then maybe an hour afterwards in engineering. They're pretty spread apart topic wise. Whereas at least if I'm doing the same thing the whole day, it stays in your head a lot better, I think.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And Daniel, what's your timetable like in the science department with the sciences?
I actually just had to pull up my timetable there, but my timetable this year is pretty sparse. Because in fourth year in biology, you do a lot of different projects. Everyone does different projects. So I did a project where you get to do a lot of your work during the summer.
Cool.
And then for the first and second semester, your time is pretty free, and you don't have to do a lot of subjects, and you barely do any exams as well. So there are days where I have one lecture, the days where I have no lectures. So all my other Classmates are pretty jealous, but yeah, it's really cool.
I would imagine so. That sounds pretty cool. And then I guess Amy, what's the timetable like for a law student?
Well, we have tutorials as well. So the original timetable I got was fairly spaced out, which was great. And then for my tutorials, they're given to you kind of maybe a week or two into your lectures, which meant I had big gaps that I could put tutorials in, so I wasn't missing out on anything. I think for my next term, I have a Wednesday and a Friday off, which, as Zach said, is great when you're commuting because you don't have to go up on those days. But like that, then I could organize my timetable with my tutorials around my classes. So it wasn't like you're given an overload of extra lectures that are just given to you on certain days. You can organize it to suit yourself essentially, which was great for me. But my timetable was good. I think I had Fridays off all the first year, which I was very happy with.
Amazing.
But very good. But no, I think I've had one early lecture and one late lecture between the 2 years I've been here, as in one finished at 6 and one started at 9. But that was it. And I'm always kind of in the middle, which is nice. But as Zach as well said, you have space throughout the day that if you need to study or you need to go or you need to see someone, you always have that kind of gap as well, which is nice.
Thank you so much. And I'm just looking at a question or two, and someone's asking, are there many opportunities for work experience? So yeah, there are. There's a placement office in Maynooth University. Zach was actually speaking about that earlier in the webinar where he discussed that he's looking into placement options. So if you get a copy of our prospectus, or if you look up mu.ie/prospectus, you can see at the top of each page, it'll say the points for last year, how many people are in the course, if there's an Erasmus or a study abroad option, and if there's placement option. So that's a good way to see which courses have placement or not, or study abroad options, because that's a popular addition on for a course that students like. My next one is a kind of a nice question. I want to know about your favorite part of campus, or your favorite place on campus, or what's your kind of highlight of campus. So I guess Tegan, I'll ask you that one first.
So I guess like one of my favorite places on campus is one areas. There's a canteen in the arts building. It's a great social space where you can hang with your friends, you can chat. They have microwaves, so you can heat up food, you can get hot water. And I just find it a great place. I can chat with my friends and get work done at the same time. There's charters in it, which is great. Another aspect I love about campus is Seamus, our library cats.
Very important, Tegan. Very important.
The library cat is loved by many.
By all.
I know. And finally, another thing I love about campus is on South Campus, there's quite a few gorgeous walks. They're more of a hidden gem I didn't really find till like May of last year.
Oh my
So
God.
nearly when I was finished. But for the spring and summer semester, they'd be to the summer semester, they'd be very nice to walk around.
And that space that you were speaking about in Arts Building, it is amazing. It's lovely. I've been in, and there's kind of vending machines and stuff around, and there's a cafe in the Arts Building, and the Arts Building has just been done up as well. So that large kind of communal area that you're speaking about, that's a new addition to campus, and the campus is lovely like that we're constantly bringing in new kind of improvements and bits as well. And thank you so much, Tegan. Claudia, what about you?
My favorite part, well, I really like South Campus. It's a really nice campus, and it's really nice to take pictures. And I don't know, in general, college in Spain is a lot different. So coming here in like a big campus with loads of places to go to, I don't know. It'd be really hard to choose like one place.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
But South Campus is pretty aesthetic. Yeah, I agree. Daniel, what about you?
I don't know if everyone will agree, but my favorite place is the library because that's where all my friends hang out. And, there's in the library, the ground floor is kind of the more communal area where you can kind of talk and hang out and do projects and stuff. And then the upper levels and the upper floors are for like studying and quiet and silent studying. So we're usually downstairs and talking and hanging out and stuff. But like Tegan said, I really like the walks on South Campus. And I myself discovered it around April, May of last year. And it's really nice when you're studying to just get out and just like take a walk and clear your head and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's really cool.
And it's funny because I doubt you would have thought that your favorite part on campus would have been the library coming to university. But
Yeah.
it's a really cool library. Like there's a napping pod in it. It's
Oh
really
yeah.
it's a lovely study space, isn't it? Like the tables are really big and there's lots you can borrow laptops and there's
There's
study
Starbucks right
room.
there.
Yeah, there's a coffee shop downstairs. There's computers to use downstairs. There's like study rooms as well. So if you're doing a group project, you can book these study rooms. So it is funny that you wouldn't expect it, but it really enhances the student experience. And I guess it's lovely because it's kind of between the two campuses too. So at our open days, there's normally tours of the library. So if anybody is considering Maynooth, highly recommend going to the open day and highly recommend going on the library tour so you can see Daniel's favorite spot. Then Amy, what's your favorite place on campus?
I think I have two. So one of my
Oh.
favorites for food anyway is Fusion Hall
Mm.
because I always find it's a really nice place to get food and study. It's super quiet like that. It's on South Campus, so it's automatically aesthetic. And it's just a very chilled, calming environment. Second place for me is the Clubs and Societies building. And if you join Clubs and Societies, you'll realize we have our own building and there's a study room there, which is so helpful. And there's all bean bags around it, and there's computers, Wi-Fi, charger pods, everything. And it also has that kind of social aspect then that if you literally go to the room next door, you're probably in a society somewhere playing with Lego, or you can go in for your meetings for your societies and stuff like that. So I always find it's a very diverse area, but it's a very useful area too.
And Zach, what about you?
Well, as Claudia said, it's hard to choose just a specific space. But if I had to choose, I'd have to probably agree with Tegan and say South Campus. It's just a really, really pretty walk. There's a lot of you just look up and you just see like these really cool buildings, and the central courtyard is always maintained well. It just looks really, really pretty, especially in spring and summer.
Yeah, I actually personally I love it in autumn. I love the leaves, the colors. It's just gorgeous. So I'm gonna ask one more question, and I'm actually gonna put two questions together because I can see somebody's asked, is it difficult going from secondary school to college? But I also wanted everybody to give a bit of advice to prospective students. So let's just put the two questions together and tell me about the differences from secondary school to university, and then what advice you would give to any prospective students about to embark on that journey. So, Claudia, do you want to kick off that one?
Yeah, I'd say there's two major differences. First of all, you are studying something that you like and you're interested in, so that automatically makes it a lot better.
Very important.
And then secondly is that you are old now and nobody's on top of you, so you have to be on top of your deadlines, go to your lectures, because nobody's going to be telling you to do something. So it's up to you to get your work done, but that's part of life, I suppose.
Yeah, I love that. It's so true. Often I go around to fairs, careers fairs in schools, and I often ask like, what subject do you like? Do you just hate in school? And everyone's is different. And I say, well, you probably won't have to study that subject ever again. And when
Yeah.
you're studying something, it's not like studying that awful subject that you hate for your leaving cert. It's studying your favorite subject that you love studying, that you don't mind opening the book and doing a bit of revision on. So that's so important. Thank you so much, Claudia. Tegan, what about you?
Okay, firstly, I would say the main difference between school and college is the workload is a lot more, so it takes you a while to get used to it, probably about a week or two. And my advice is stay on top of the workload.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing about it is it can be very intimidating. It could be very scary going from college after you go to school. As like I said, some of my modules are bigger than the size of my whole school.
Mm-hmm.
You're on your very first day. You're sitting in the big lecture halls. It can be very scary, but it's the sort of thing you get used to after a few days.
And what would your advice be for someone
Yeah.
filling out their CAO
Yeah,
application?
my advice would be is if you think about going to college, don't think about the course size as something you get used to,
Mm-hmm.
and do something which you really enjoy. Like don't let people say, oh, but there's no jobs in that. You can always do a master's, which will get you a job. Do
Mm-hmm.
what you love.
So true, so true. And I guess like something that's important as well is the workforce isn't, it's not that you have to be this profession, this profession, this profession. It's something that Maynooth degrees are brilliant for is they really kind of give you the flexibility to go into different jobs. And there's the tech sector and there's these different type of roles that weren't there before. And Maynooth really gives you those skills for all of the diverse kind of subjects and different careers as well. Thank you so much, Tegan. Daniel, what about you?
I think there is a lot more responsibility because you're by yourself, especially if you're living by yourself and you have to cook for yourself and do your laundry and all those kind of things. And they may be things that some people may not be used to living at home. But I think it's also really good because then you can just kind of figure out who you are and what you like. Like, like for me studying for exams, I like to study at night. So you can start studying from like 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. all the way till the morning or something. And I think, when you come in, use your first year to kind of explore and really figure things out, even if you're unsure of what to do or unsure of what your course is, all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of my friends transferred from like general science to biology or biology to math and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of leeway to kind of figure out what you want to do and who you are in college.
Love that. Thank you. And any advice for someone filling out their CAO application?
Any advice from what?
For somebody who's filling out their CAO application at the moment.
I think like you said before, just do it like a wish list, like just what you love, just put it there in order. I know for me, I didn't realize there were going to be so many, the list was going to be so long. But yeah, just whatever you like, put it at the top and just keep going from there. And hopefully you get your first choice.
Amazing.
And even if you don't, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, there's a road to everything as well, but important to fill up that list too. Give yourself lots of options.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Zach, what about you?
I'd say the main difference that I experienced was the fact that now it worked in my favor in the end, but the fact that there's no one's holding your hand anymore. Like it's you're here because you chose to be here. You got the points that you needed to get where you are now, and now it's you got to put in the work, and it'll benefit you tenfold in the future. It's also can be a different experience. The fact that like I know myself for secondary, I was in one building the whole time, whereas now like if I want to, I can leave campus whenever I want. If you miss something or if you do extra work, that's it's all on you. It is what you make it.
And any advice for someone filling out their CAO application?
What I wish someone had said to me when I was doing my CAO is that the stress and stuff that you're going through now is not going to last forever. I wouldn't worry about what's going on right now. Like, honestly, even thinking about my leaving cert now, like I don't even remember what I got in my leaving cert. All I know is that it got me to do what I really like doing. So that's the most important thing.
Very important. Thank you so much. Amy, what about you?
I think my answer is a little different because secondary school feels like a long way away from me. Like I came in through a PLC and like I'll talk a bit more about it later. And if anyone is interested in doing a PLC or you're not sure what to do definitely tune in for the QQI talk because you might be unsure, but there is a route everywhere, especially with Maynooth. For me anyway, like even just not counting in the PLC and going straight from secondary school into college, as everyone else has said, there's a huge jump. Like no one's going to hold your hand. If you don't turn up to a lecture, that's on you. No one will care too much about it. If you fail an exam and you didn't study for it, again, it's kind of your problem. But in the same regard, you're always going to have help there if you need help. There's never a limit that, oh, I missed a lecture, I'm in big trouble, I'm not going to know what to do. The amount of times I've been either you miss a bus or you're sick or anything like that happens, it's a quick email to a lecture and you've no idea the amount of support or anything you can get from it, especially as well with essays and stuff. Like say that there's a writing office in Maynooth, the library staff help you. There's I know they do sessions throughout the first couple of weeks of college and the second couple of weeks of college during the second semester where they'll help you with your essays or how to cite or how to do stuff. So even if you're 100% sure what your course is, so you want to go straight to university and you don't want to take the route that I did, and you're worried that I don't know how to cite or I don't know how to write essays, there's a million and one other help venues for you there. So you're not going to be stuck. So even though we're all saying that it's a massive jump, It is, but it's a very supportive jump all the same. So you're not jumping in something that's completely unknown, and you don't have to work completely by yourself.
Amazing. And any advice for anyone filling out their CAO at the moment?
I think make sure that you know what you want to do would be my advice, honestly. Because from someone who didn't, I nearly ended up in a course that I wouldn't have had a lot of interest in. And you need to remember that even though it's just a course that you're putting down and it's just a couple of words, that's 3 or 4 years worth of a course. So you need to have an interest in it and you need to have a love for it before you jump into it, because it makes life a lot harder if you don't know what you want to do. And if you're interested and you have that love, you'll fly a lot faster at.
And something I always say to students, and I guess is something that's come across here, is that the open day is so important for that. If there's something you're considering you might like, something that's really important, get the timetable at an open day, look at all the courses, circle anything you're kind of interested in, and you might not mind it. Go to that talk, and when you're sitting in that lecture hall, you have to imagine that this could be your life for the next 3 or 4 years and see if you're vibing it, if it's for you, if this is the right place for you. So that's the best kind of way to go about that to make sure your course is right. So there's going to be a talk on QQI and PLC and mature entry routes. And then there's also another talk that's happening twice this evening at 7 o'clock and at 8 o'clock. And that's the one that Amy will be a part of. And that's the CAO application process. And that'll be with Isa McGuigan, who's our admissions office, director of admissions here at Maynooth University as well. So I guess that's all we have time for, unfortunately. But as you can see, our students are brilliant. And the best thing about these students, they are our student ambassadors and they work at our events. They work at our open days. They're on our social media channel, Maynooth CAO. So Maynooth CAO is the handle to go and to follow, because these students do takeovers and they answer your questions there. They show us days of their lives on Reels and on TikToks. So if you want to follow their journey, that's the place to do it. And it'll give you an insight into this college life that we've just been discussing for the past 50 minutes. They're also on a platform called Ask a Student, which is like, it's almost like now it's more protected than a WhatsApp, but it's that kind of chat function with a range of students on different courses. So if there's a student that is maybe here, there's no courses that you're interested in from these students, where there's other students and they're on that platform, and you can avail of that on mu.ie/ask a student. You can always DM us on Instagram or TikTok as well if there's any kind of degree programs you want to learn more about, or that you want to see those days in lives or anything like that. So I just want to say thank you so much to our brilliant students, Tegan, Claudia, Zach, Daniel, and Amy. I know Daniel's going over to the science talk as well, so he'll be chatting over there. And thank you so much to my amazing colleague Emma Stevens, who's also in the background moderating the questions. There's a Q&A on the Pubble. There's Q&A kind of on the landing page that you came in from if you'd like to ask us any more questions that we didn't get to today. So thank you so much, everyone. Thanks to your students, and thank you so much. They will be recorded that you can watch back as well, and they'll be up in the coming days. Maybe if you want to check it next week, it'll probably definitely be up by then for this webinar anyway. So thank you so much, everyone. We're going to end it there and enjoy the rest of your talks for the evening. And thanks for joining us. Bye.